Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Bitcoin. And so here I'm looking at this on the weekly time scale, and I will also be going over three Bitcoin miners, again, also looking at the weekly time scale, and then at as well the daily time scale. Okay, and so starting with Bitcoin, current price is nearly 44K. I suspect it will go higher. Things are looking pretty strong. Just started a new week. RSI is right around 80, 81.54. But I want to note that it has been higher before. So for the first week of January 2021, there was this peak that corresponded with an RSI of 93.47. Excuse me. So I do expect that the RSI as well as the price of Bitcoin will go higher, but I do expect there to be a pullback just like there was at the beginning of 2021 before continuing up to make new all-time highs. With that being said, I do expect this to eventually pull back into this shaded box ranging from 25K to 36K. I had previously been hoping that price would come down to these levels, the red, yellow, and orange lines, but I don't think that's going to be happening. Which is too bad. It'd be nice to pick up some Bitcoin down there, but I do think it will be pulling back into this box. However, I do think, as I had mentioned, based on the RSI, that it will continue higher. But I don't think that will last much longer. I do expect a peak to form before the end of the year around the holidays, and then to come down into this box before the halving, which should be occurring around the time of April next year. And so now looking at this on the daily time scale, it does look like there is some bullish consolidation here, a bull flag forming. So I do think that this price will be going higher. I've heard that 48K is a likely target. Could go higher than that, may, be a little shy. But I do think that price will go higher, but ultimately, before the halving, I think price will be coming down to 36K or below. So that's what I'm preparing for, planning to start dollar cost averaging starting in 2024. And once it does get into this box, I'll be doing that more aggressively. So that's my plan with Bitcoin. And then thinking about the miners, looking at the weekly time frame, all of them look like they have this bullish hammer candle formation closing the week at the high. If I also look at Riot, pretty similar kind of candle, and CleanSpark as well. And all of these lines I had gone over in the previous video, all based on doing analysis on Mara and then just kind of translating to the other charts. And so what I see happening with these is that considering the RSI, but doing that looking at the daily time scale, it is looking pretty, overbought. But, that has happened in the past with, let's see, previous levels around where it's at right now, 82.46 for the RSI. Let's see if I do look back at the weekly time frame. The RSI is below 70. Yeah, so I think the weekly is a better way to look at this. The RSI on the weekly has gone up to 92.60 or so. And so we're not there on the weekly time frame. We are at 68.49. So I do expect it to go higher, and that possibly a high will be in this coming week or the week after before a turnaround. And for me personally, I'm not doing this yet, but in the next couple of weeks, if we do start to see some weakness with the high of the week, or the close of the week being lower than the high, sort of like how it was here earlier in July, I might buy some puts to make a little bit of money on the way down. I would expect these miners to come down to this white trend line that has served as support, but I do expect that to be hit in either January or February of next year, possibly March before the halving. But yeah, I could see this going up higher, perhaps to test the red line here for Mara, which would be at 1950. Looking at Riot, I could see it going up potentially to this blue line, which would be at 2083. And then with Clean Spark, nearly at that blue line, so it's kind of going into new territory, perhaps testing the highs here around 1383. And so, yeah, I'm kind of just curious to see what will happen in the week ahead. I should note too that some gaps were recently formed in all of these on the daily, so that would be coming down to around 14, or sorry, let's see, 1370 for Mara, for Riot, coming down to around 1378, and Clean Spark coming down to around 780. So I do think that price will be returning to fill those gaps at some point, but I do think for all of these miners, it will be bullish into next week, the week of December 11th. Or perhaps the following week. But I do think around the time of New Year's, around the time of Christmas, that these will be seeing highs and pulling back. And I do think that as well with Bitcoin. But I do think that, like I had mentioned, it does look like a bullish flag is being formed here. So I think that in the coming weeks, all of these will be hitting highs before pulling back. And I expect Bitcoin to be returning to 36K before the halving. And I think that will be, a great time to be accumulating more. While now I think, in all honesty, is a good time to be trimming with the expectation of 48K, perhaps 50, 52K being highs before a pullback. And anyways, those are my thoughts on this. And if you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, make sure you like it, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.